Hey world, what's going on? Ruben now back at it again. I like to experiment different things, so I'm over here with my boy David. We're testing out his theory of hedonic, and we're just here to talk about it, just here to bring awareness. And I decided to record it and just put it on my channel, guys. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Welcome back to another episode of the Veterans Real Talk Show. My name is David, and I'm your host. I'm here with my boy Lorenzo / aka Ruben, and we're gonna have a little discussion today. I feel like going over the word hedonic. From what my understanding of this word is, hedonic would be like your umbrella to more different effects as far as pleasure and not pleasure. So when we actually take this subject and we push it on to other things, whether it be in psychology or the things that we do in our daily lives, we can actually see that it can affect us in a good way and a bad way. One of the things about this that I did my little research would be a hedonic pleasure or adaptability or hedonic treadmill. So to give a little quick explanation on that, tonic treadmill would be, if you could visualize it, somebody running on a treadmill trying to get to a certain place, right? So the second part of that would be the word hedonic being the pleasure and not pleasure. So if you were to actually, let's say, win the lottery, would that change your life? What do you think, Ruben?
Yeah, man, it will definitely change my life. That's for sure.
All right. So with that being said, the way your life is currently now, you're pretty much comfortable. We go about our daily business, we go to school, we study, we're into our stuff.
Definitely.
Winning the lotto, winning $1 million is going to change your life dramatically, right?
For sure.
So not saying that we're chasing that pleasure, but being that we have something that affected our lives to kind of better it, we utilize that. And the misunderstanding about it is that we actually take this and the money you win, for example, you spend it on this, you get, all the big change, you're doing this and that.
The cars, the houses.
Exactly. So in the same respect to that, we kind of change our lifestyles going up, and then eventually what happens with the adaptive part is that we actually wind up coming right back to where we ended up at.
Yeah, man. You know how many people that have won the lotto have been broke now, David? It's insane, man. It's funny how you bring that topic up too, because we're here, buying these tickets, trying to better our lives, to make that $1 million or to get those millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden you realize you're spending 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a day, sometimes a week, just giving it back and making ourselves even more broke. So it's like, hedonic is an interesting word, man, for sure. It's almost like you said, a pleasure that you're like, what, you're hoping and you're wishing that this thing comes true, but at the same time you're hurting yourself, and it's crazy how that goes.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. When we come incomplacent about the things that we do and how we change, how our lifestyles change through one thing. We always say that the money is the root of all evil, right?
Yeah.
Because money can destroy marriages. It can destroy a whole bunch of things in life. Honestly, it could also drive people to go sell drugs and do things because of whatever situation that they're in.
That quick chase. They want that quick chase, and they feel like their luck is bad enough, or they don't work hard enough to make a difference on wanting to better themselves legally. So they just, it's almost like borderline slavery. Like, you kind of, in the hood at least, you kind of don't even have an option. You're just like,
right.
You know what, I'm just gonna take the quick and easy way out, not realizing you're just destroying your life while you're doing that, while you're trying to focus on that. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the one thing that, like the last two segments that I had, the last one that we talked about was like suicide prevention and how to avoid that. And, we need to be more aware. That word aware is a big thing, because a lot of times we're not aware of our surroundings because we get so caught up in our lives. right? So being caught up in our lives, we just worried about, what's happening maybe now.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the listeners out here can maybe agree or maybe disagree, whichever one they would like to do.
Yeah.
But in reality, our brains are made to do three things. First thing is to think about the past.
Yeah.
The second thing is to think about the future.
Facts.
The last thing that it even thinks about doing is what's actually happening now. But those three things, if we understand how to manipulate that, utilize it, so that we don't stay stuck in the past, because a lot of times the past, keeps us back there.
Definitely.
And drags us.
It almost like consumes us in a way. It's crazy because you're like, the bad shit that happened to you, you just constantly think about it, and it makes you angry. And it's crazy to think that, why am I thinking about the past when it makes me angry, instead of just worrying about what I'm doing now or focusing on the future. And it's just like, that's crazy how our brains work that way.
Right. So if we can actually be more aware, and not only be more aware, but actually know how to look more about what's actually happening now. Not worry about the future, because the future could be in any path that we have.
True that.
Right? So just people, when I seen other people coming into college and, these young guys, the one question that they actually ask is, what am I going to do with my degree when I'm finished? And I'm sitting there like, wow. Have you even figured out what you want to be, when you grow up? Like, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you're an adult. You just jumping into something because, a lot of people look at the hedonic pleasure of making money, and not that they're going to make an impact and enjoy what they're doing.
It's crazy.
Like yourself, you got into this, right? I remember me and you had that conversation before. Let everybody know about that, the thing that you do right now.
Well, right now I'm a film major. It took me a long time to kind of realize, what I wanted to do in life. I'm in my mid-30s, and I was in the military for about 12, 13 years actually. Then after that, I was just like in a shuffle. Lost. I had a good job making money driving and stuff, but I really didn't see a future for me. Like, obviously driving wasn't gonna get me anywhere. It was making me money at the time,
right?
But just working without a mindset of what I wanted to do, it really depressed me a lot. So I was like, you know what, let me go back to school. Once I get back to school, I can figure out what I kind of want to do, and I'll just let it come to me. So literally, it took me like about 6 months of just like, going through these classes. And I was like, you know what, let me take a comm class in film or something like that. And not knowing, growing up, how big into film I was. I used to collect movies for a living. I must have had, like, no lie, maybe about 1,000, 2,000 movies, just libraries of movies. And it never got to me that it's like, hey, why don't you pursue a passion? If this is your passion, if you're always watching TVs, always watching shows and movies, why don't you pursue this? So once I got into that class, Dave, instantly, I'm talking about instantly, I knew this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And not to say that I'm conceited or anything like that, but
should be.
I feel
I'm good at your trait, man. I've seen your work.
I feel like I am really good at my trait, and a lot of my classmates and everything, they always tell me, you're so good. They come up to me, for help and just producing things, directing things, and it kind of comes natural to me, and I love what I do, man. I definitely see myself directing in the future, and I don't look at it like you mentioned earlier. You shouldn't really think about the future like that. I don't look at it like, okay, in 5 years, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be my mission. I just let it come to me, Dave. I just let it come to me.
Definitely.
I started my YouTube channel. It's going on like about 8 months now that I'm taking it serious. And I'm up to 100 and change subscribers. I didn't even think I was going to have 5 subscribers just to get to 100 in less than, 8 months. And as my craft gets better, it's going to keep growing. I'm just like, I'm very proud of that. So it's like you just let things come to you, man.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
once they come to you, you figure it out from there, straight
Definitely.
up.
So with that being said, we're gonna turn this right back into that same word, brother.
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, you found that hedonic pleasure for yourself, right?
Exactly.
But it's actually a positive but, I gotta say, right? So you took that hedonic pleasure and it wasn't something that was just given to you.
Give it
Like,
to me, yeah.
all right, you paid $1 in a dream, you got a little midget coming on, and he's like, yo, you won $1 million. Oh, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go buy that shit I never had before. I'm not gonna invest my money because I'm gonna enjoy what I'm doing now.
Man.
So certain people, like we just said, the brain does three things, right? Past, now,
Yeah.
and future. So now we're like, I got the money. I'm going to be hood rich. I'm going to buy all my shit now. I'm not going to really look for the future. But you did what you're supposed to do with that word.
Yeah,
the
that's
hedonic
crazy.
adaptation or hedonic treadmill,
Mhm.
right? You took it and you made it a positive. Sometimes it might seesaw, right? It might go up and down,
and
just
down,
like we see in
yeah,
graphs and
for
shit like that.
sure, man.
But you stay positive, you move forward,
Yep.
and as you move forward, it becomes a pleasure that's more gratifying over the
Exactly.
time that it goes.
and people think, listen, people, it's not easy. It's hard work. So you see the videos and you see the vlogs and everything. This isn't just sit down and talk. Like the setting up, the editing, all that stuff is it's work. It's hours of work. So there goes the non-pleasure part about it. But once you're finished, once you're done, you see the reward and everything just coming to light, man. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting word. It's a powerful word too, man.
So, not only that, from what Ruben's saying right now, it took about me. I mean, we got here mad early, and it took him maybe, I would say we were in here for about an hour just to put a few things up.
And it's just one camera, bro. One.
One fucking camera. On top of one camera, then I'm putting my shit
Yeah,
up.
man.
He's putting his. And we got to get it all right because
Yeah.
it's more than just doing one thing,
It
right?
is.
On his half, because he got all the videography and stuff like that, and man is great at his trade. I've seen his work. You guys got to go check his YouTube channel
Yeah,
out.
man.
Let them know what that is.
Check it out, man. Ruben L. Martinez, YouTube, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna catch
definitely.
all
We're
my
going to shout that
content
out at the
there.
end so you guys don't forget that,
Yep.
because I want y'all to really hit that up. Take a look at that.
Yeah, man.
And by the time everything is finished, 2-3 hours in, and then we shoot this podcast, it's about another 20-30 minutes, and then we're done. So it absorbed more time for him to actually do that. But me saying that is, you have to have a passion for something.
Have to.
But if you start something, you have a floor plan and you look at it and you all into it, then all of a sudden when you figure everything out and you just drop it like it's a bad habit, then it was really never meant for you.
It is.
It was something that you just wanted to do to play around with.
And it's interesting you say that, because going back to my military career, when I joined, I was young, man. I was like maybe about 16 when I joined.
Oh, wow, you young.
Yeah, I was young.
I was like about 19.
Yeah, I was still in school. Then 9/11 hit. 9/11 hit. A year later, I graduated, and it was like recruiter called me like, "Yo, pack your bags. I'm picking you up in 2 days." And the military was cool and everything, but it's just something that I knew it wasn't for me, passion wise. So I.
Not for a long period of time.
Exactly.
You had not that you had no choice, but you did have no choice. Because
Yeah, in a
I was in the
sense.
Marine Corps, and the USMC stands for you signed the motherfucking contract. So once you in, you done. You gotta
Yeah,
deal
you're
with
done,
the dilemma.
man.
But in your case, go ahead.
And then the crazy part too is that we're Hispanic, so our mentality is, what, you start something, let's finish it. You know what I'm saying? Pride. That's that Latin pride. I'm telling you, that kills
Definitely.
us all the time. So I'm like, I'm gonna just
Like
do
a
my
plate of food.
contract. Yeah,
I eat
man,
that plate
it's
of food, put it
crazy.
in front of me, so I'm eating it. I'm eating it.
You signed your contract and you're like all hyped, like, what, I can do this. So then you do it, and then you don't realize that years pass, and you're here like, what are you doing? Like, you don't want to do this, but you're already doing it. It's been years. So
And you start counting the days to that last day of that
I'm telling
contract.
you.
I
And then
got
you're like,
300
what?
days and
It's
a
wrap.
wake up.
It's a wrap for this, man. I'm done. And another thing that people don't realize, once you leave, once you're finally set free, kind of, you're kind of like set free. You're like lost in the shuffle too. You're like, what the hell is going on? What is this world we're living on? And because all you know is military. So now that you have to get your mind right and focus into the next stages of your life. And I think that's what a lot of veterans, even in active duty that do 20, 30 years, they retire, they have all this money, and then they're like kind of lost, Dave. I don't know if you see it, but they just like feel lost with life, with society, because they don't know how to live life.
I'm like a real conspiracy dude. So I always come up with something.
Hit us with the facts, Dave.
Here's the facts. All right. Not saying that military branches are like really trying to brainwash you, but it kind of happens. Even somebody that goes in is already, you could be prepared to say, I'm not letting them do this and blah, 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 blah. But first of all, you messed up the first time because you signed a contract and now you already swore the fuck in, right? You went through the whole process. There's no way to turn back. Throughout your whole career within the military, like myself in the Marine Corps, it's not somebody waving a watch in front of you saying this is what it is, or you're gonna be here and you are not gonna succeed if you leave here. But you figure every time you went on a cadence run, where it was a formation run, the cadence that's being sung, it's subliminally in the back. It's actually really brainwashing you.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's kind of changing your way of thought, because a few factors lay into that. Because the first one, for example, one cadence is, the grass is not greener on the other side. So we can interpret that. My way I would interpret it, and how I try to give strength to other veterans that are coming out scared, so they don't make the mistake and say, you know what, I can't do this when I get out. I got to go back in. I got to sign up again.
Man, a lot of them do that.
Because in reality, you have more than one path in your life. And I mean, if the military is not for you, then you need to take that stride and move forward. Do what's now. Worry about what's now. Don't wait for somebody to give it to you. With that also being said, it's like the grass is not green on the other side. So if I was to interpret that for myself, it's basically the military as a whole telling me that I can't survive outside of the military. And you know what? In a lot of cases, in the beginning, it's very frightening, especially for me. And I'm a big dude. So, but at the end of the day, it was kind of frightening, because when I actually got out, no matter how many classes that they gave to actually teach me how to relearn my first name, because when I even got home, when I got out, my mom's calling me David. Yeah.
You're like, what? Who?
I didn't even answer. And she's like, yo, David. And I'm like, Pacheco. And then I turn around. I'm like, yeah, what's crazy, up? So man. it was hard. And it was hard. True. It was hard transitioning over, because you have all this stuff embedded in your mind. And then when I remember these kids, the grass ain't green on the other side. And it was not only because of that. It was also because, for example, why do you think people stay in messed up or fucked up marriages?
Because they're scared to move forward. They don't want to start over, basically, dude.
Yep.
So it's
well, not only that, it's habit,
consistency. Yeah, you're so used to it that
you're in a
like,
what? You're in a routine.
You're in a routine. Yeah, you're so used to it.
So your routine, it's there. It's waking up in the morning, doing it. No matter how much you fucking hate it, you got to do it. There's no being sick in the fucking military. You got to get the hell up. You got to go to formation. If you sick, you got to let them know that and go see a bullshit ass fucking dude pretending to be a doctor. And then they tell you go back to your unit. You got light duty and everybody shits on you.
Yep. Pretty much.
But it's the things that we used to is what keeps us, dormanted or, in limbo in that one spot. Yeah. And it's hard to move forward. It's hard to see different paths. Yeah. And then we've, coming back to that hedonic part again. See, everything runs into this thing. It's like an umbrella. An interesting everything word, runs there, because you can either stay stagnant where you're at, and then when you actually get something good, it goes up, and it can come down. Yeah. It can work against you. It can go work with you. In your case, it worked with you because you have a goal moving forward. Facts. You found a passion that you love, which steered you in the right degree, and not do the stupid shit that I've seen. That motherfuckers come in here and they want to do computer science. I'm not naming no motherfucking names, but can't pass a math fucking exam. All right, which is part of that. I guess they didn't see the prereqs or even think about that. Am I right?
You're absolutely right.
But
man.
they could sit here and debate with us about what the fuck's going on in the world.
It's crazy.
I don't understand. You're in the wrong degree, brother. You should be in motherfucking political science.
And then they're over here with like 0.1 GPA and all that. I'm like, why do you realize you're putting yourself You yourself, because you make your own schedule, you put your own classes, you putting yourself down and stressing yourself out because now you want to be a computer major when you have, just because you see a pretty little screen. Yeah, you see those pretty little screens on video games and everything, but do you know the process of adding
No.
fucking coding and all this other shit that it takes to make those pretty little screens? Come on, man. Use your brain, man. And that's the thing with the military. They digress you from thinking further because you're you're stuck in this little bubble that it's hard to get out of, and it's crazy to transition yourself out of that shit. And
Definitely.
that's where, guys, like David said, man, he's a conspiracy theorist, and a lot of these fucking theories, they're true, man. I'm telling you, they're absolutely true.
Let's use that example because we're not going to blow his name up, whatever case may be. But we're going to, just in case he hears this, John and shit. But, I don't give a fucking chainsaw. But at the end of the day, let's really look at that word again and compare that to what we just spoke about when it comes to this fucking dude. Think about it. The hedonic fucking play. He's doing the opposite of that.
Yeah, he is.
He's not chasing his dream. The dream that he is chasing would be the money.
The money.
And the money he's not gonna get because he's not a fucking G at his fucking at his craft.
His craft.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have, I started school and I started with that same thing in my head that I seen every new freshman, every fucking kid that comes up and it's just asked me. And I know I'm pretty old up in the fucking food chain, not that old, so don't get it twisted for you guys out there listening.
Facts.
But at the day, it took me a minute to figure out what the hell I wanted to do, because I just was like, you know what, I have many of careers. I joined the Marine Corps, got out, I worked for the federal government, for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I left that. I started doing federal police out in the Bronx. I worked as a chemical engineer. I drove express buses from Staten Island to Manhattan every day, dealing with different shit.
Man,
but
go through it, man.
I was always engaged with people, and I'm one of those. I'm that type of person that if somebody came up to me and they asked me something for some reason, I know and I understand. If not, I'll let them know and I go find out. But I try to help.
Yeah, man.
So I'm an aggressive giver and taker, kind of, or you would say a matcher, and that's gonna be the next segment that we're gonna do. About giving and taking, and that person that likes to trade.
I'm down for that, David.
You know what I mean? Because that's another big factor with this, and with everything like that. First thing I said, an umbrella, everything, every word. You could take a word, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this thing today with just a word.
Yeah.
And to actually break it down. But I wanted to give the the listeners and your viewers the thought in their head that they really need to stop looking at what's on the surface, and you really need to investigate what's going on underneath, why certain things happen, and maybe you can sit there and help yourself.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, we all have the answers to our problems. We all have the answers to what's ever happening out there. Just we never really take the time, and we always try to have someone else do the work for us. Be fucking lazy. We need to stop being lazy. We need to start moving forward, have the plan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And carry it out. And if it goes bad, believe me, you have another path. Take that motherfucker and do it.
Man. We're not all, there's two ways to really run into money. And one of the ways is inheritance. If, you were born rich with rich parents, kudos to you, you lucky son of a bitch. And the other way, man, is through connections. You really think if you're, if your goal is, I want to make money working, you're really going to make money working? No, you're going to get a job that you don't like. You're gonna make probably, if lucky, decent money, and then you're gonna stay there. Consistency, like Dave said, you're gonna stay there, and you're making good money, so the years are gonna pile up and you're gonna love it. That's not how you make money, man. You make money by your passion, you doing your passion and letting it come to you. That's the only way you're gonna make good money, is by not thinking about it. You know how many times everybody's telling me, have told me, yo, dude, go do this music video, go do this, go take this photo, etc., etc. And I'm like, it'll come to me. Trust me, it'll come to me. And little by little, it's definitely coming to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about, the money that I want to make, because at the end of the day, I have a goal where I'm gonna work on my craft, get better at it, and everything else is gonna come to me, man. I'm telling you, it just is. You cannot focus on making money. If you think about money, what do they say, Dave? Money is the root of what?
All evil.
There you go. So it's like, stop thinking about money. Just enjoy your life, man. Life is precious, believe it or not, and we don't have long in this life cycle to live it.
Especially with that coronavirus, you know what I mean? And then that's causing another fucking mass hysteria shit. Corona. All day. And I think, you know, another issue too is I think what pulls people back from actually going out there and doing something is because they're afraid to fail. They're afraid of the outcome. But we become better at what we're doing by failing. You learn by. I tell my son that all the time.
So true.
I say, you know, my son's name is Aiden. Aiden, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to do something and fail at it. Just as long as you're not hurting somebody.
You want to hear something crazy, David?
Yeah.
My son's name is Aiden too.
See what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm telling you,
and
man.
And we're Hispanic. That's actually, you know, an Irish name or some shit like that.
Crazy.
So that was what was in style at that time.
That's crazy.
So, but at the end of the day, I tell my son, I'm like, hey, Aiden, he's probably older than yours, right?
Yeah, mine's is 5, man.
Oh, yeah, so I'm Aiden number 1. So we're, you know, Aiden 1, Aiden 2. Y'all remember that, all right? So Aiden 1 is mine, Aiden 2 is Ruben's right here.
Max.
So I tell yo, Aiden 1, listen, right? It's all right to fail. And he's 14 now. It's all right to fail at something, but as long as you try, as long as you're not hurting nobody else, and then we're going to get through it together. And then eventually, as he grows older, he gets that wisdom and understands that it's all right to fail at something, as long as you know, not hurting nobody, but you're learning from your mistake, and you become an expert. Because even the person that loves to steal, and I've said it plenty of times before, a thief is not really a thief until he gets caught.
Yep.
Once he gets caught, then he understands what he did wrong, and he's gonna research that. He's gonna find another store, or he's gonna find another place, or a person on the street. He gets smarter. You know, work harder, not smarter. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, it's the umbrella effect. One word could be detrimental to everything. You can actually take that and view it. And another reason for that is, like I said before, is that we tend to just look at what's here instead of saying, well, what's underneath that? Like, why does that actually happen? And try to not pick it and try to dwell on it or stay on it, but to try to get a better understanding. Yeah. You know, and plus it increases our vocabulary, because I heard this first word in one of my classes, and I was actually taking an exam, and that's why it hit me in the head, and I needed a dictionary. Like, I had to get up, embarrassing. Can I get a dictionary? What the fuck is hedonic? Yeah. You know, but at the end of the day, a lot of people just fear. They fear to fail. And it just keeps them at that one thing. So they try to stay at that safe haven and do what's safe, but it never pushes them forward. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or we resort to other things, and we're just waiting for that big lotto winning ticket, and it never comes.
Can't wait, man. You're gonna be waiting forever.
You know what I mean? So, you got anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good, man. Just researched the word. David put me onto it last night, and it was a powerful word, man. And if you're gonna be a thief, man, be a smart thief, man. Take a toothpaste, take this, take that. Don't fucking go to a bank not knowing how to rob a bank and rob a bank, bro.
Yeah, that's official. That's real talk right there.
You know, be a smart thief. Just to be smart on whatever it is you do, man. Straight up.
So that's going to conclude our episode here on the word hedonic. I want to thank Ruben for joining me today, and we're going to follow up on a few more of these things, do some videos.
This, David. I'm loving this,
and, I want all y'all to, go to my website, www.therealveteranstalkshow. You go on there. I have my number there. Throw out a fax. If you have any other ideas or you want to talk about something, we'll shoot it out there. Have my man Ruben come back. I'll get a few more people in here. We'll try to throw some stuff in there where we actually surprise call somebody and try to get them out there.
I'm down for that.
You know what I mean? And see where they're at without any interruptions out there. My man Ruben right here is gonna plug his stuff real quick.
Yeah, man, guys, I thank David for letting me do this with him. This shit is dope. I'm feeling this. Don't forget to subscribe. My followers, Go hit up David's page, his vlogs. He's in Apple. He's in all these streaming lines, and guys should definitely hit it up. It was an interesting topic. We're gonna do a lot more on it, and don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe, and just get some knowledge into your head, man. With that said, I'm done, David.
That's it. TheRealVeteransTalkShow.com. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Later.
Easy.